Hey there, gang. We are finally ready to head through the Omenpaths, which some of you know is the digital skin of the new Spider-Man set, which I don't know if this is normal or not, but remember, normal is an illusion. What's normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. Let's play some head games. Friends, opponents, comic book fans, the worldwide, welcome to Head Games Arena. My name is ShatterX, and today we are taking our first look at Through the Omenpaths Standard. So, for those who are not in the know, Magic recently released a Marvel Spider-Man set, but they didn't have the digital rights to it, which meant that the digital cards that we get on Magic Arena have different names and art than the actual paper cards. So we are going to take our first look at a deck from this set built around the spider mechanic that is very obviously apparent in the deck. And by that, of course, I mean we are playing Gruul spiders, mostly built around our friend Borys the Spider Rider. Now I'm going to stop here and remind everybody that I'm just going to use the Through the Omenpath nomenclature the entire time I'm working in this set, because it's going to make it a lot easier for me to edit. So Borys the Spider Rider is a 3-mana 4/3 trample within Web, and Web means you can cast it for cheaper, for just a red and a green, if you return a tapped creature to your hand when you do it, and then Borys gets the additional bonus of getting counters equal to the mana value of the returned creature. So if you get a 1 or 2 drop creature down, and then you use Borys' Web ability, bounce that creature back to your hand, he comes in as a much bigger threat, which is very difficult for some decks to deal with. So otherwise, we just jammed a bunch of Gruul spiders into a list together to see if they would work. This is my first foray, and I don't have early access like a lot of our other streaming creators do, so I just had to make do with this on day one of release when I'm recording this video. So we're playing with 2 copies of Rizna the Spider Crown. This is a 1-mana spider that when you attack with 2 or more spiders, it gets a counter. If it deals 4 or more damage, exile the top card of your library, and you can play it until the end of your next turn, as a matter of fact. So this is actually a really solid early game card. We're also trying out 2 copies of Fate Weaver, which is a 1-mana 1/1 reach and death touch. Then you can pay 2 generic sack it, search for a spider hero, and put it into your hand. 4 copies of Llanowar Elf for a great combo with our friend Borys here. Furthering the spider theme, we've also got 4 copies of Kraza the Swarm as one, which is a 2/1 spider human hero with Riot, and other spiders you control have Riot. Riot means that creature can either enter with haste or with a +1/+1 counter. Kraza also makes it so spells and abilities can't be countered, damage can't be prevented. This is a solid include in this list, and I think we're going to see a lot of this card. We've also got 2 copies of Terran Tusk, which is a kind of a lord effect for spiders, other than this one. 2 copies of Twitching Doll. I actually would have put more copies of this card in the deck. I just only had 2 of them, and I ran out of wild cards building this deck. Demera Soul of the Spider is a 2-mana creature that when a spider you control enters, draw a card. You can only trigger this once each turn, but you get this additional card draw as a benefit. 4 copies of Spinners of Souls, the old kind of 3-mana spider staple. When another creature dies, you look for through the top of your library till you hit a creature, put that in your hand. And then at the very top end, we got 2 copies of Ouroboros, just because this card is an enormous amount of fun and makes your Omri very difficult to deal with. So all in all, it's a Gruul aggro list. There's not a lot of frills to it, not a whole lot to kind of talk about as far as strategy goes. We're going to put our creatures down. We're going to try to run over our opponents with spiders. We've got some removal in here in the form of Torch the Tower, hard-hitting questions, a Braid, and at the top end, Witchstalker Frenzy. We're also trying out 2 copies of Grow Extra Arms to see if this essentially 1-mana +4/+4 is good enough to see standard play. So before we head over into the videos, I'd like to remind everybody, please like, subscribe, leave some comments down below. Please let me know what you'd like to see out of this set as far as decks. I'm very curious to see what other people are interested in seeing us play in Through the Omenpaths Standard. So thanks as always for watching. Let's play some head games. Alright gang, we are out here with green and red spiders, because this Into the Omenpaths set is inexplicably full of spiders. It's the strangest thing. Okay, I cannot do anything with this hand, so we're gonna mulligan it, because unfortunately we don't have a 1-drop creature to get Borys down onto, so we just can't keep that. There's no way. Okay, this is a little bit better. I think that we can do something with this. Let's keep this, and we'll put Grow Extra Arms back for now. So let's start with starting town appropriately, right? What town does a spider boar hero start in. Patchwork bestie for our friend. Okay, let's play Stomping Ground untapped and get our mana, get our mana spider down. So our opponent is also on green-red, but they're on an old school. They're on an old school Delirium plan. Okay, so we've got 4 mana to play around with, which means we can play the Spider Boar as well as a Braid. The question really that I'm wondering to myself is, does it make sense to do that? Alright, let's get the Spire Verge down. Let's get our Spider Pig down. And I think we're actually just going to pass from there because we can either abrade something or we can... another Patchwork bestie for our friend. Yes, because we can either abrade something or activate our food. Either of these things feel good. Breakout for our opponent. Another Brynhildir. Okay. See, this is actually why I did what I was doing. Yep. They're just going to give it to it now? Okay. I mean, I think I just take that attack. Yeah. I think we just take that attack. We'll take out the Patchwork Beastie. We'll let Brynhildir get it. Okay, now we can play Borys. See, the thing about Twitching Doll, though, is that you really want it to build up over time. Okay, so this Brynhildir dies on their next step, and the next creature that they cast has haste. So I really think getting Borys down is pretty good here. So let's get that done. Let's get Borys down, and then replay Twitching Doll. And from there, we'll just say go. Yeah, dealing with Borys is going to be pretty tough for them. We would not be mad at another land. We would not be mad at a removal spell. Not sure what else is really going to help us in this moment. This is an interesting way to start our time off because, like, you know, aggro versus aggro, like, we both have to be very careful about every single thing that we do in these early turns. But really, I think that this spider deck is capable of having really explosive starts. Although we did not have one this game, it is perfectly capable of that. And then I think that it actually has a pretty amazing top end as well. Like, I mean, Borys the Spider Rider is actually a pretty amazing card. It's very good. It's really, I think, what glues the deck together. Our opponent is having internet connectivity issues. Probably. Not my favorite way to win, but I'll take it. Okay, our opponent has decided to pass their turn. We are going to move to combat. I guess we should have played Spinner of Souls first, actually. So I think we're just bringing it with Borys here, but again, our opponent seems to be disconnecting, so it might be completely inconsequential. They may have, their love of the Halfling's Leaf has clearly slowed their mind, so Although I do like their lands. I try not to spend too much money on cosmetics, so I do have one set of fancy lands that I got a long time ago, but I haven't got another one, so... Alright, just Borys. Okay. And then I think from there we're just going to play one of these spinners, and we will pass to our opponent. Their second Brynhildr dies. And now if they do reconnect, they are in a very bad position. Not a super exciting way to start, but we did get to see the spider deck kind of do what it is capable of. I am very much a fan of the spider cards that were from previous sets that we now get to use with these other cards. And really, like, it's not even to say that this is necessarily the best way to use some of these cards. Like, this card is the real deal. This card with just Llanowar Elf is a 5/4 on turn 2. It's very strong. And not for nothing, it's actually a 5/4, but it has a counter on it, which matters in some certain ways. Anything that needs to trigger off of a power or anything like that. Okay, that'll be it for this game, I think, folks. We'll take it. We are now on to game 2 with Gruul Spider Aggro into the Omenpaths standard. 4 lands is a lot for an opening hand, although I'm not actually mad at it. This hand is fine, because I actually get to Ouroboros on 3 if they don't kill the Twitching Doll, so let's give it a try. And I am on the play. We will start with a Stomping Ground untapped, and we will play Rizna, who, as the kids say, has the Riz. Black mana for our opponent does give us pause. We will play a Twitching Doll, attack with the Rizzler. I'm going to make everybody cringe with the name of this card, just as much as I possibly can. So who do they kill here? Both of them? It'd be very strong if they were able to do both. Very good for them. Okay. They take out the Twitching Doll. Totally understand that. Okay, we are not loving where we're at. We're going to play this Stomping Ground tapped and get in with the Rizzler. End the turn. 3 mana for our opponent gets them Karsi Revenant, which fortunately for us, we can abrade. We will play Cavern of Souls, naming Spider. And we will play Ouroboros. Counters for everybody. Get in with Rizna. No 4-mana board wipe. Starscape Cleric and a removal spell. You duress our hard-hitting question. You got it. Okay, we will... Okay, I think, because we're going to get a trigger with Rizna here, I actually don't even need to cast Terran Tusk. I'm just going to get a trigger with Rizna, because she's going to get 2 more counters from Ouroboros. Let's just move to combat. You can't block. 8 damage and a card draw. Let's do it. Let's hope that we're not playing into... We're going to put counters on everybody. We will make this a forest and let it enter tapped. Ouroboros is taking over this game. No board wipe. Bloodthirsty Conqueror. Do we lose? Oh, they got us! Oh, boy. Been a while since I've seen this combo. Okay. You got us, friend. On to game 3 with our Gruul Spiders. We're currently 1-1 after that very embarrassing loss. I don't think I can keep this. It's tough because I don't have any green mana in my hand, but I do have 2 lands, and if I put this on Spider, I can keep it. Let's try it. Our opponent is given strong mono red signals over here. They're on the play, so we're not really sitting in a good position if we are playing against mono red. Although we do have a reach death touch creature in the Fate Weaver here, so that feels pretty good. All right. Our opponent is really, really thinking about their first play. Is it a mountain and a 1-drop creature? Wow, we are having a lot of connection issues today. I don't really want to win that way again. See, folks, I try not to edit out videos. I want to give you 7 actual games in a row. So, trying to do my very best here. We're going to play this Cavern of Souls on Spider. And we're going to play Rizna. Yeah, I don't want to, I don't want to edit out any videos if I can help it, because it, makes my life easier, but it's also more authentic in experience. You can kind of see 7-ish games in a row. I mean, this is how it is sometimes, but it's not really giving you a good picture of what the deck is capable of. I mean, we get to listen to this delightful Duskmourn music. Our opponent has arrived. Hired Claw for them. They are a full turn behind. Okay. So I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to play Terran Tusk and attack with the Rizna. Hired Claw for our opponent. We'll take 1. No blocks from us. Thank you. They're going to take us to 17. We are now officially a race. Starting town was a good draw because it means I can cast Spinneret of Souls without having it hurt us. And that's a 5-4. We'll attack here, get a counter. Opponent's at 13. How different would this game have been if our opponent had not timed out that first turn? Torch the Tower is pretty excellent here. I'm trying to decide if I have a couple of different ways to do this. So yeah, we're gonna torch the tower with a bargain and take out their screaming nemesis. I don't think I want that right now. They still get to sling the damage. The question is, what are they gonna do with it? They're gonna send it at my face, which is actually, I think, pretty remarkable. Now they're under threat of taking 9. They're at 4, and we get a card. We will put this land into play tapped. That's enough. On to game 4. Currently 2-1 due to some internet connectivity issues. we're pretty okay with that. Kraza is pretty excellent. Kraza's pretty excellent. We're gonna keep it. I have so much interaction, I feel pretty okay with it. Our opponent starts with Fable Passage. We would like to see, I think, a mana accelerant. That's not it. Let's play this Forest and say go. Red and white for our opponent does not bode well for us. Thornspire, Verge, and Demera. Getting the card draw engine going. I expect this to die. I full well expect this to die. What do you know? Yeah, this is going to be tough because our opponent is probably playing something that feels like, wow, that is an interesting turn of events. Cavern of Soul on Spider allows us to kill the Resplendent Angel and play this Fate Weaver. So they're playing Boros Angels, which is not what I expected when I saw white and red. They just held up mana, so I fully expect Ouroboros to die here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna play Kraza. And we are gonna give it haste, I think. Activate only as a sorcery, sure. You got it. Yeah, Fate Weaver suddenly occurs to me to be much worse than I thought it was. What could I get that's really gonna change things? I don't really know. I'm gonna put the Llanowar Elf down and say go. I didn't realize that Fate Weaver's ability was only as a sorcery. It makes me feel a lot less good about this card. Glass Casket takes the Fate Weaver, I'm guessing. Fine by me. Alright, Ouroboros, do you have yet another removal spell? How many have we seen? 2 Braids and a Glass Casket. Get in for 2? Board wipe. That's what this deck does. Well, I'm so used to playing against something that actually kind of feels like... Oh wow, they're in trouble. Come on! Yeah, you got it. We'll get in for 4. They had a 1 mana removal spell there. Hard-hitting question. You have a protection spell? That's your last card. You got it. And now they're going to draw a big angel. Here it is. 5 mana angel. Glass Casket. Okay. Takes the elf. You got it. Okay. Anything that's not a land. That'll do. Spinner of Souls. Let's ask some hard-hitting questions. Get in for 2. Okay. Lyra Dongbringer is very bad for us. Ouroboros changes things a little. No attacks just yet. All we have to do is fade for a turn here. No removal. Okay. We're in this. Stomping Ground tapped. Ouroboros does its thing. No attacks. Next turn we can start attacking with the face down creature. That's it. Okay, we are on to game 5. Surprising 3-1 record so far. I guess I shouldn't say it's surprising. This deck is fairly decent. Okay, we're gonna go for it because we have turn 1 Llanowar Elf into turn 2 Borys, which is one of the strongest starts a deck like this can have. So it actually also allows us to play this tap land on turn 2. So we've got a removal spell, something to make our spiders bigger. Blue mana for our opponent, starting town, and our buddy Llanowar Elf. I feel like we're going to see a counter here, but we're going to go for it anyway. Borys, returning Llanowar Elf. Counterspell. That makes me very mad. Alright, here's our third land. Let's play Llanowar Elf. And Terran Tusk, Unwisely Awoken. I know that getting Kraza down seems like the right play here, but we're just gonna be careful because we're playing against a counterspell deck. So we want to see if we can slide in Kraza at a time where it's harder for them to deal with it, like right now. We're going to give Kraza haste. Oh, they've just got a removal spell. Perfect control deck. 2-1 for our friend. Yeah, they've got a removal spell. You got it. Okay. Let's use up these map tokens. I actually don't want another Kraza, as weird as that sounds. What I want is a land. Interesting. Okay. We'll take a land. That'll do. Because that means they're gonna have a harder time countering this. Okay. Market Gnome for our... What is our opponent doing? I now actually really think like I need to keep the Abrade. Yeah. Here we go. Alright, they're gonna gain a life and draw a card. See, our opponent is on some artifact stuff, which I am just surprised by. I really didn't expect that to be what they were doing. I'm really actually kind of wondering now. Yep, we're gonna end Web Borys, picking Spinner up, and we're gonna replay Spinner. They're looking for a second white. Board wipe. You got it. Okay, we're gonna get in with the Restless Ridgewine. And say go. We're not playing this because we want to get value out of it. Like that. Hang on. That's better. Let's draw a card. And we'll say go to that. Another board wipe for our opponent. What else? Wow, we are not drawing fire right now. Okay. Kraza. Llanowar Elf. Market Gnome for our opponent. Perilous Snare. Targeting Kraza. We're gonna let them pick Kraza up. Going to end step. Braiding the Perilous Snare. We'll give him the counter this time. Okay. Or a Boroid. Get in with Kraza. They're just gonna draw into another board wipe. Do you have it? Oh my god. Whew. Getting real tough out here. Activate Ridgeline. Oh, is this enough? Oh, it's enough! Yeah! I love taking down control. Alright, gang, this is game 6, currently 4-1 with Gruul Spiders. We can do something with this hand. We will start with a Stomping Ground tapped. Say hello to our friendly neighbor. Alright, our friend's got a... got a swamp. So we'll play Kraza. We'll give him haste. We want to get in as much damage as we can. This incentivizes them to kill Kraza, but we're actually okay with it. The Terminus. Do you also have a removal spell? You do. Okay. You got it. What? So that's indestructible. I can't do anything about that. Another land would have been pretty excellent, but we didn't get that. Now we get to see how good the Terminus of Return is, because here we are. Another removal spell for our opponent. Excellent. Good job. Karsi Revenant. And a removal spell. Excellent. You gotta take the torch, friend. It's the better move. You gotta take the torch. There you go. That's why. Yeah, we can't allow the Karsi Revenant to sit here and slow us down. Yeah, 3 Borys hand feels very bad. You got it. Casting Borys. Unstoppable Slasher for our opponent. What's the third one do? Exiles the graveyard? Okay. Spinner of Souls. Oh no! This thing get okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. So do we attack? I think we do. I'm a little surprised by this. Right? Because we get a card. You can exile our graveyard now. And? Oh. We like really need land. Okay, second Spinner of Souls. Activate your land and block. Uh-huh. Take action. This is a fascinating game. I'm like really remarkably amazed by this. Okay, so they still don't have 7 mana, and I just killed one of their lands. So they can Karsi Revenant. They don't have enough to both do the Revenant from the graveyard and play the Soulstone. Wow, I really, really desperately needed that to be a land. So Unstoppable Slasher gets in next turn. That is very difficult for us. No attacks. They're gonna activate their Sanctuary. You got it. Well, so... okay. So this does 5, and then it takes me down to 5. I think I have to block the Slasher. I think we'll do it like this. Yep. Or Boroid's a little funny. What do we got? There it was. Okay. So I need to draw a land right now. And I'm probably still going to lose. Okay. Demara Soul of the Spider. Kraza. We're going to put a counter on it. Draw a card. Okay. If we'd have drawn a land any sooner, I really think we might have had a chance here. Okay? Yep. Could have told you that was going to happen. Mm-hmm. I think we're just dead. Because I can't... I need to kill the Unstoppable Slasher, and I don't think that I can. So if that does 2 to me... So I actually... I can take one more hit from the Slasher. So I think the best thing I can do right now... Ooh. That wasn't right. That wasn't right. That was incorrect. That was incorrect. If they've got a removal spell, I'm pretty sure they win. Yeah. All right, let's play it through. See, I should have played Borys there. That was just a huge mistake on my part. Because then at least I'd be trading with the Soulstone Sanctuary here. Now they've got 2 creatures, and I don't. It's more than a little frustrating that I can't torch the tower here. Yeah. Ugh! Not great. Very bad mistake on my part. Alright gang, this is it. Game 7. We are 4-2 with Gruul Spiders. Let's see if we can get a playable hand. This is interesting. So what's most interesting about it is that I can go Llanowar on 1 into Kraza into Fateweaver. We're going to keep it. This is a very fast hand depending on what our opponent's doing. Red-blue means maybe we're seeing Vivi. We have not seen it yet today. Hired Claw for our opponent. Okay. We are gonna put Multiversal Passage in and play Llanowar Elf. We're gonna keep our game plan the same as it was. Burnout Astronaut, do not kill our elf. Do not kill our... Yep. Okay. Okay. So they're going for speed. They're going the distance. Okay, we're gonna play this on Spider, and we're gonna play Fate Weaver and hold up extra arms. Razorkin Needle. Yep. There they go. We will draw and take a damage. Fascinating. Alright. Here is Kraza. Swarm as one. We're going to put a counter on it, and we'll say go. Yep. Does the damage. Alright, we're going to put Kraza in front of Razor. Fate Weaver in front of Hired Claw. Okay. Yep. Excellent. Okay. Land for us. Fate Weaver. We will put a counter on it. No attacks. Yeah. We will block. Another grow extra arms. I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. Maybe I played the spell too soon. I'll take that. Yep, burst lightning on our creature. Okay, so the problem is I really need this Wisp Shocker Frenzy to stop that thing. Like, I can't afford to take one more hit from that. I can't. Can't afford to take one more hit from that. Oh, man! Screaming Nemesis completely dunks on us. Completely dunks on us. Another Screaming Nemesis, I'm guessing, because you always have more than one? Or Lightning Strike to the face? Yeah. Good game. All right, friends and opponents, how did we do today? Well, we ended up with the standard 4-3 record today. Ran out of steam at the end of the video, I'm not gonna lie. I spent a lot of time putting this deck together, practicing it and recording it all in one day. So I'm just I'm a little tired, and I definitely made some mistakes at the end there, which cost me some of those games. So, but all in all, I actually think that this deck could be a decent contender with the right build. Again, again, I just smashed a bunch of cards into the deck to see what stuck. You can see there's lots of 2-ofs in here, not so many 4-ofs, which ultimately means I'm not really sure which cards are the best to actually have in the final build. I will say I'm probably more a fan of Rizna than I am of the Fate Weaver, but the problem is that a lot of these really, really powerful cards are also legends, so having multiple copies of them in your hand makes for some very, very awkward draws. So again, I'd like to have a couple extra copies of Twitching Doll. I think this card's going to see a lot of standard play in the spider meta. And really, like, don't sleep on that second ability. If this gets a fair amount of counters on it, it can really go off with making a whole bunch of spiders. And if you've got your boy Kraza out, they can all have haste. If you've got Terran Tusk out, they're all going to be a little bigger too. So imagine a world where you get Ouroboros, Twitching Doll comes out, you put some counters on it with Ouroboros, and then you make a whole bunch of spiders. The next turn, those spiders become huge. There's a lot of opportunity for this to go really well. But ultimately, I actually think the 2-color combination of Gruul is really tough, because you're going to run into some things that are just very hard for you to remove, and we definitely saw that a little bit today, where we didn't have the right removal spell at the right time, and cards like Screaming Nemesis just absolutely dunk on us. They just do. That card is so hard for Gruul to deal with. Ironically, plays in a lot of Gruul decks. So overall, we're excited about playing through the Omenpaths cards over here. We do have some fun ideas in the pipeline for the next couple of weeks. I'd just like to remind everybody before we wrap up today, please like, subscribe, leave some comments down below. Tell your friends about Head Games. Your friends from Head Games are going to be in MagicCon Atlanta later on this week. By the time this video airs, we'll actually be in the building, because it should air on Friday. So come and seek us out. You'll see us with our play mats with the logo on the table. So if you're going to be out in Atlanta, come find us. We'd love to meet you. Thanks as always for tuning in, and remember, take care of your head. Hey gang, thanks so much for tuning in. Click that subscribe button to support the channel, and check out the most recent Commander podcast, where we ask why folks don't play enough lands in their Commander decks.